Credit Coast of Nick's Seasonal Decor here with my friend Tanya. It has been a while since you've seen both my face and Tanya's face, but we're back, and we're here to stay. So just give me 1 second while I pull up the feed on the page. Make sure we're live. Awesome, so you see we are live. So what we're going to be doing today is creating a pretty spring wreath in the colors white, green, shades in between on a 24-inch evergreen base. I have about 100 of these, and I have not nearly as many grapevines as I do evergreen bases, so I thought we would use one of these today. Hi everybody. Wow, 85 people already. 90, 100. Awesome. Wow. So like I said, we're going to use one of these today. If you're in my exclusive wreath community, I created a wreath, and we thought we were going to use more of these than we actually needed. So I have some of them left over, and I told you guys I would use them in another project. So if you are in my exclusive wreath community and we cut these in the past, we're going to put them to use now. They are 15 inches in length. So what I already did ahead of time, let me zoom in to show you guys, is I already pre-fluffed the wreath, which means I took each and every single piece and I opened it up and made sure it faced in the same direction, just simply by pulling them. Think of these as giant pipe cleaners. What Tanya's doing is cutting some glue sticks and putting them in my glue skillet because we're kind of low on glue right now. So while that melts, we're going to prep some of the materials. Hi everybody. So in the past, if you are in my exclusive wreath community as well, we have done this technique where we've added deco mesh to an evergreen base to kind of bulk it up so we don't use nearly as many flowers. So all I'm doing is a ruffle technique, which means I'm gathering it to create essentially a bow tie. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place these throughout. Not being too particular, I'm just pinching, placing one piece in, and kind of opening it up a little bit. I always like to incorporate some deco mesh, especially this type. This is my favorite deco mesh because it is non-metallic. I love to work with this. This is actually called poly jute. So it has little strands of jute weaved throughout. Thanks for the shares, you guys. What I'm trying to do is reach 100,000 followers by the end of March. I know we can do it. I only have about 2,000 left, I think.
Oh, really?
Around there.
Is it 97
Maybe.
or 98?
98 something. So hopefully we can reach that by the end of March. I think that'd be awesome. So I don't know how many pieces I already have cut. Like I said before, this is just the scrap pieces from a project in the past. So might as well put them to use. I know it has been a while, you guys. I know I've missed you guys too. I think the last time they actually saw you, Tanya, is when we messed up on the lemonade wreath.
The lemonade.
When I told you to cut them like 9 or 10 inches, and they ended up being like 4 or 5 inches wide. And we had a lot of viewers, and they're just like, Tanya!
No, actually, wait, what did we make with Julia and Maddie that time? Because that was afterwards.
I don't think so. I haven't seen Maddie in a long time. This was after I came from Texas, I think. I'm not sure. It's all a blur. It's all a blur. Okay. Almost 500 people. Awesome. What I've done in the past is I've also added some tubes, curls, whatever you want to call them, in this style of wreath. But today we're just adding some ruffles. Keep it nice and plain and simple, especially since I only have about 4 more pieces left. But I don't think we used the nice new Mevo, the camera.
The what?
In the last
video.
video.
No, we didn't.
I don't think we had the zoom
feature.
feature.
This is the first time I saw all this setup.
Yeah, this is new. But it gives me the ability to zoom in, see?
What? What do you mean?
So right now it's zoomed in on my hands. See where the square is?
That's cool. Oh, I thought that was us the whole time.
This is us.
Yeah.
This is us.
I thought that was like from the camera.
So that's the complete camera view, but right there is the zoomed in part that I'm trying to feature right now. Okay, so I have a couple pieces left. I don't actually want to save them, so instead of throwing them away, I'll just place them right here and right there. just so that we don't have to throw them away. Because we don't like to waste anything.
Nope.
Thank you.
Can I use this stem to mix the glue?
Yep. Okay, so I have 2 more left. I thought I had 2 in total, but I'll just place it in another bare spot. So if you're not comfortable working with deco mesh in general, I think this technique is a great one because it kind of simulates a complete deco mesh wreath. You know, the more pieces you add, we only added about 15 pieces, if that, to this wreath. But if you wanted to add another 10 or so and make it really full, you honestly really wouldn't even see the pine tips. So I don't remember exactly how many to use. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, around 10 to 12. I think I skipped a couple, but you know, not too many. And they were cut at 15 inches previously, so I put them to use, and I don't have to look at them anymore, so I'm kind of happy about that. Okay. So I have some flowers here, I have some greenery. We're going to incorporate some of this. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm just going to snip it into smaller pieces. You see, here's the camera. Let me zoom out so everybody can see us. So school is actually over. I graduated last Friday. It's crazy how fast that program flew by. Okay. So this is one stem. If you're interested in purchasing this exact flower, this exact greenery, the item number is 476564, and it was $4.99 a stem. So I have a couple of those. I think I'll cut 3 for now, and we'll work those in. Thank you. People are saying hello to you.
Hi. Normally I have my phone, but it's over there.
Oh.
So I'm not watching it.
So I could have prepped this materials ahead of time, but in all honesty, what did we do about 20 minutes ago? We ran around, threw some flowers together, threw some greenery together, and that is what we're doing today. Did I just cut 1 or 2?
2.
No, here's 1. You just lied to me.
No, you just got
Well, that's 2.
one. That's 2, yeah.
Yeah, that's 2. So that's what we did. Kind of just threw everything together. But we're going to make it beautiful. Hi from Canada. Hi. 735 people. Awesome. Okay, so here's 3 pieces. I gave the item number a little earlier. What else do I want to add? I really like these flowers, you guys. I think either Queen Anne's lace or something else. But I think they're pretty. A little kind of congested to be Queen Anne's lace, but they're pretty, and they scream spring and summer to me. So I'm just snipping these. These came from Michael's, and if you're interested in these, the item number is 534385. I don't know if they carry these online, but in store they have them in several different colors. Let me zoom in so they can see what I'm doing. See how it zooms in?
Yeah, I just was looking at that.
So I am pulling up the foliage a little bit just because I don't want it so long. I also have those flowers in a slightly darker green. I think this green is really pretty too. So we'll place a couple of these in. And again, I'm pulling up the foliage. Maybe we'll let you glue some of these in. Want to try?
Yeah. Why
Good.
not?
Why not? Exactly. Everybody's got to learn some way, shape, or form. What else do I have? I have some of these. I think these are really pretty too. They're a little bit more dainty. These are actually wax flowers. So we'll just snip those off. These greens, I think they're pretty, so I'm just going to pull them off and put them to the side. I'll save those for another project. We're also... Oh, hey Becca.
Hi.
My friend Becca's here too. I forget what I was going to say.
I forget too.
Well, I don't think you knew.
Yeah, I wasn't really listening.
Yeah, I don't think you knew.
Becca distracted me.
Becca.
Becca.
So I cut 2 of those. What else do I have? Let's see. I think I only cut 1 of the green. Maybe we'll start with 1 of those greens. I have a couple different types of greens. I have 1 of these. We'll cut 1 of these. This came from Hobby Lobby. The item number is SS16-35. We'll cut these up and we'll use them. These were $4.99. Okay. Anything else I want to use? I think we'll just stick with that for now. I also have some items sent from Nude Nielsen. They deal in preserved flowers and preserved greenery. So here we have some yarrow. Actually, you guys, these green ones and these white ones might be yarrow. I don't think they're Queen Anne's lace, but they're most likely yarrow because they look very similar. And then we have some lotus pods. I have them in a moss-covered form, and then I have them in the original form. And then I also have some preserved Spanish moss that we can add throughout to kind of make it a little bit more natural and earthy. Thank you. Okay, so let's zoom out. We'll pull this forward. This is a wreath we made last night in the community. Pretty summer wreath. And let's place this on now. So we used an evergreen form, which typically you see at Christmas time, but I use them year round. I love working with them. And as you can see, we didn't completely cover it with deco mesh, but that is perfectly fine, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. You know what I was thinking we could add too is some boxwood. Do you like that boxwood?
This?
The other stuff.
This?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cute.
You think that's pretty in it?
Yeah.
So Tanya's going to cut up, if we have 2, you can cut 2 of them up. Tanya's going to cut up some variegated boxwood. I think actually it's called eucalyptus at Hobby Lobby, but it looks more like boxwood to me than eucalyptus. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start placing some foliage, some of this from the Hobby Lobby, into the wreath. I am working them in the same direction as the greens that are originally there, the evergreen. It doesn't matter as much as it would if we didn't have any of the deco mesh. But I'll just place some throughout. Hey everybody. You love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There we go.
I think we're going to make this more like natural and like airy. What do you think?
Do you
Instead
want
of
them
like
like
a
this
perfect
big,
wreath.
or like do you want me to split them up?
Yeah, cut that in half. That's fine.
Okay.
If I pull this back, you can still see, right? There we go. Thank you. So I'm just working these greens in the same direction. The direction is totally up to you. If you want to go clockwise or counterclockwise, that is your decision. Just try to keep it uniform. Okay. You want to work some of them in?
Yeah, do I just like jam them in?
What?
Do I just like jam them in?
Yeah, you want to add start with some boxwood?
Yeah, these.
Yeah. First time you're adding stuff to a wreath. How's it feel?
A little nervous.
You're a little nervous.
How much do I put
So
in?
notice that I'm working. Yep. So notice that I'm working the greens in the same direction.
Like anywhere? Oh,
So
sleep.
yeah.
Like here, and just jam it.
So you see how the greens are going downhill?
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
So all of the greens are going to go that way.
Okay, so like if they were there, they face that way. No,
They
down.
go like this.
Okay.
Make
Oh,
sense?
they all face that. Okay.
They all face the
Okay,
same direction.
I gotcha.
So for those of you that don't know that, like Tanya didn't, keep that in mind. You always achieve the best look if the greens are facing the same direction. Like I said before, it doesn't really show as much when it comes to a wreath like this, since we added some deco mesh. But traditionally, in my evergreen wreaths, I always work with the greens in the same direction.
So like this.
Yep. So the stand is actually from Hobby Lobby, and it's not a stand for wreath making, believe it or not. It is a picture easel. I think it was between $30 and $50. I know I got it on sale. And we're using it for the purpose of wreath making. There you go. Let's give some hearts for Tanya, you guys. She's already a professional.
It's kind of fun sticking them in.
Good. So I have a couple more pieces of this variegated foliage that we'll begin placing around. Also notice she is kind of distributing them throughout. I told her to cut 2 stems of them, and she didn't place 2 of them, you know, in the same direction, filling it in. She is placing them throughout. Oh, look at all the hearts coming in for you, Tanya.
Hey.
Hi, everybody. Right there. Perfect. Okay, so that was the last piece. Actually, I have one more. Never mind, I lied. I'll just place it right there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start adding some of the flowers. I'm going to start with some of these wax flowers. They look like little white bells, and I think they're really pretty. And I'm going to work these in the same motion that me and Tanya have been going with the greenery.
Last one.
She is such a cutie pie, somebody said.
Thank you. I just burnt myself.
There you go. Perfect. Round of applause for Tanya.
Yay.
Don't give yourself a round of applause.
Should I do anything else?
Yeah, whatever you want. Do you want to cut some of those? Do you think we should add some of those white flowers behind you?
These? Or
Yeah.
those?
Whichever one you think.
I like these ones.
Or should we just keep it with subtle flowers?
Yeah, actually, yeah. It probably looks better more natural.
Do you think we should add any of the preserved stuff?
What's that?
The dried greens that you see behind me? Like the moss.
Oh, like those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to add some of those?
Yeah, do you want me to cut them? Or are they
Yeah,
already...
you can cut them. So now we're going to add some preserved yarrow. What color is it? Does it say in the package?
Holland?
Nope. Spring green is the color. So it's perfect for this season. And it came from Nude Nielsen. I highly recommend their products. So if you guys recall the home talk video where I decorated with fresh magnolia, that came from Nude Nielsen. And you guys saw the quality of that. The garland that we put above my TV, entertainment center, and inside of the tree.
Is this good?
Yeah. Hi, Maddie. So the mesh was ruffles, correct? Let's see if I even... Do you even like that in it? Yeah, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll thin them out a little bit. So I'm finishing up with some of the white wax flower. And for those of you that are just tuning in, if you don't mind sharing this video, I greatly appreciate it. We're trying to reach 100,000 followers by the end of March. Right? That's the month we're in?
Yeah.
Okay. There we go. Hopefully that's a little bit closer for you guys. So now what we're going to do is incorporate some of the artificial yarrow. I'm going to start with the white, and we can add some of the green one after. And like I said before, I am making sure that the flowers are working either clockwise or counterclockwise. Thank you. So Renee, that one actually we created in the exclusive Wreath community. That was our first tutorial of the month. We have 8 tutorials this month in the group. So let me just show you guys real quick, because I see some questions on that. It is a deco mesh wreath with some flowers and some ribbon. And a lot of you guys were questioning where I got that easel from. The easel came from Jacobson Floral. It was like 12 bucks, I think, for a 72-inch easel. I mean, it just towers over me. But that was the first tutorial of the month.
Are you cutting these, or should I put them over there?
You know, let's just use these ones first.
Okay.
So the base of this is a 24-inch evergreen base. The ones you see at Christmas time. A lot of people associate those just for Christmas. But, you know, a lot of us designers use them year-round. When I was in Texas in January, me and Julie of Southern Charm Wreaths and Clara of Clara Nicole, She's Crafty Too, we're talking about how we absolutely love working with evergreen bases year-round. So just because it's used at Christmas time does not mean you have to use it for Christmas. I mean, by the time we're going to be done with it, you virtually won't see it in this case, but even if you do, you won't associate it with Christmas with the flowers we're using. Okay. So I'm not even thinking we're going to add any ribbon to this. I think we're going to keep it nice and simple. If I was to add ribbon to it, I wouldn't add anything with a whole bunch of color. because I do want the focus to be on the flowers and the greens. So I probably would stick to a burlap, to be honest. Sam's Club came out with a nice burlap ribbon last year. I don't think we're going to add any to it, but if you wanted to, I would stick to something neutral. Or even that ivory would look nice.
This?
Yeah. Even some of this would be pretty. Maybe we'll add some pieces of this. What do you think?
That looks nice. Isn't that
Yeah,
the
I
same?
lied. I think we're going to add some of those.
Yeah.
What?
Isn't that the same one in the fishing wreath?
Exactly.
But white? I remember that.
Well, we didn't use the white. We used the green form of it.
Yeah, no, I said
What?
but in white.
Yeah. You got a good memory, Tanya. Okay, so I'm going to add a couple more. I think we have one more white, and then we have some of the green. And that's how quick it took to create this. We have a couple more flowers after that. We have those little white ones that we cut up. Okay, now we have some of the green. I think I'm actually going to hold off on those. I think we'll just do these. Keep it strictly artificial. Want to play some of them?
With the flowers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would never have imagined a pine wreath would look so spring-like. Exactly, and that's what I want to teach you guys, is that just because evergreen vases have the Christmas stigma does not mean you have to use it for Christmas. I don't strictly use it for Christmas. You guys know Christmas is my favorite time of year, but we're not in that time of year year-round. And I think the coverage, I think you get a lot more out of evergreen vases in this case than grapevine. You guys know I love grapevine, but if we were to do what we're doing today, first of all, we would have to attach pipe cleaners to it or wire to it to actually attach the deco mesh. And then we would have to add a lot more flowers to it and a lot more greenery. We'll place this one here. So what Tanya's doing is adding some of these filler white flowers. These, I gave the item number earlier. I think they came from, yep, they came from Hobby Lobby. And they were $4.99.
Putting this in.
No. Okay, so that's what it looks like with the flowers. Now I do want to add a few pieces of this. I think this is really pretty. So we're not going to add a big bow to it, but I think we're just going to add strips of it throughout. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut lengths of that. And we're going to tuck it in. For spring and summer, I talked about this the other night in my exclusive Wreath community. I think it was actually last night. Yep, Sunday. For spring and summer, I kind of like my ribbon to be tucked in and kind of hidden. For Christmas, I kind of like a large bow that's kind of in your face. But for spring and summer, I kind of like ribbon accents more so than a large bow. So what I'm doing here is I'm just cutting several pieces that we'll place throughout. And all I'm doing to attach is taking the pipe cleaner, the twist ties of the evergreen form, and wrapping them around each other. So it's kind of like giant pipe cleaners, which is another reason I like using evergreen bases. They work in your favor. You don't have to add any pipe cleaners to it. Thanks for the shares. Tanya is doing great. I know, she went from not being able to cut dovetails to making a beautiful wreath. So.
Is that glue?
So somebody just commented saying that they decorated a wreath in a real bird's nest. Ended up being in the wreath. I think that's kind of funny. We once had that happen to not our front door, but our side door, which people don't usually open as much. And it kind of spooked me when a bird flew out of the wreath.
That looks good.
So sometimes just a few touches of ribbons complete a wreath rather than creating a big bow. But if you like the big bow look, by all means you can add one. I'm not even measuring these ribbons, I'm just cutting them, so the lengths are probably varied. But that just goes to show you don't have to make everything perfect. A lot of people get stuck up on making everything perfect and cutting all the ribbons perfectly. And don't fuss about it. Don't worry about it. If it looks beautiful, it'll be up for sale. If it doesn't, you probably will never see this video again because it'll be removed, right? And if you don't like the way something turned out, then just adjust it and fix it. So I just want to add a couple more towards the back. So, as I've said in the past, always make sure your wreaths are beautiful from all angles. Me and Tanya are working in pretty close quarters here, so we're not really looking to make sure it looks good. But, as always, when I go to take pictures of the wreath, I will look through the camera and take a picture and make sure that there's no bare spots or anything that's missing. Okay, I think one more piece and we'll be all set. But a lot of people ask me if I dovetail this ribbon, and the answer is no. I don't care for the look of the dovetail for this specific ribbon. I prefer it just cut like this, which is kind of crazy because, you know, I love the dovetail. But in this case, I do not dovetail. Okay, so in total we used 4 or 5 stems of flowers, a few stems of greenery, 10 to 12 scrap pieces of 15-inch poly jute mesh that is 10 inches in length, and a 24-inch evergreen base, and then that's it. And a couple pieces of ribbon. So if you have scrap ribbon, which is actually the case of this, we used this in a previous tutorial, so I'm just using the leftover bits. Yep, I see that. Exactly. Somebody just commented, says needs one in the top right corner, and I just looked on the camera, and she is 100,000,000% right. But as always, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you learned something new. I hope I was beneficial to you guys. If not, that is totally okay. But, yeah. So, Tanya did great. Let's give Tanya a round of applause, me and Becca.
Yay.
And I'll see you guys all very soon. If you guys don't mind sharing this video, I would greatly appreciate that. I hope I can reach 100,000 followers by the end of the week. Sunday's the last day of the week. And I will see you guys before Easter, but just in case you're not able to pop in, I hope you guys have a great Easter if you celebrate Easter. And I'll see you guys all very soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
You